Here.
Commissioner Paxton?
Here.
Commissioner Hopkins?
Here.
Also in attendance is County Manager Vaughn and County Attorney Pato.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Vice Chair Paxton, will you please lead us in the pledge?
I will.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I salute the flag of the state of New Mexico, the symbol of perfect friendship among united cultures.
Thank you, Vice Chair Paxton.
Absolutely.
We will go ahead and move on to the approval of the agenda. Is there a motion?
Mr. Chair, I move to approve the agenda.
I'll second.
I have a motion to second to approve the agenda. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Item 2 is the approval of the minutes from the March 18th meeting. If there's any changes, say so now. If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the minutes of the regular meeting, March 18th.
I second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Next up is public comment. We do have one individual signed up, Becca, is it Isa? Is that her? You can step up to the podium, and you have 3 minutes.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Becca Isa. I'm a resident of Truth or Consequences. I am the Executive Director of Main Street Truth or Consequences, and I'm also a member of the Turtleback Trails Network Steering Committee. And I'm just coming this morning to express, on behalf of the whole steering committee of the Turtleback Trails Network, our support for Resolution 2025-35, authorizing the county manager to pursue designation of a part of the county road A05 as part of the Rio Grande Trail, as well as the Turtleback Trails Network. We're really excited about the opportunity to be a part of the Rio Grande Trail. We've had this plan for the Turtleback Trails Network in working phase for several years now, and as we're moving forward with that, to be able to be a part of the larger Rio Grande Trail, I think would benefit the community to have that resource. It would also really benefit tourism locally. I think it's going to bring a lot more people here that are dedicated trail users, eventually to allow the trail to connect up to the already designated parts along the west side of Elephant Butte, and then, of course, further north and south. And just on behalf of the Turtleback Trails Network Steering Committee, I wanted to express that we really are very much in favor of that designation. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we will go to the consent agenda. Is there a motion?
Mr. Chair, I move to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second.
I have a motion, a second to approve. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Moving on to item 5 is presentations and reports, years of service awards. Manager Vaughn.
Thank you, Chair. I have a couple today. The first one, out of detention with 5 years of service, is Pam Marotti. Next, out of the assessor's office with 2 years of service is Ashley Caitlin. The next one, out of the treasurer's office with 7 years of service, is Josie Hawley.
Hey, Joseph.
The next two, out of SCRTA, the first one with 3 years of service is Alana Brown. And the next one, also out of SCRTA with 9 years, is Lake Yaw. Thank you.
9 years. Oh. Good job.
And the last one, out of the road department with 3 years of service, is Walter Gregory. Thank you.
You took too long, Billy.
Thank you. You got to sprint. That's all of them. Thank you.
Thank you, Manager Vaughn. Next, we'll go to department reports, and Sheriff, you're sitting in the front, so we'll go to you first.
Quite a bit to report on today, Mr. Chair, Commissioners. Manager Vaughn. So first off, I want to report on our fleet. So we did receive all of our F-150s. We did get those upfitted. We're having some radio problems with 3 of them, and we have a tech coming later this week, so we hope to have them on the street by next week. 2 of them are on the road now, which has freed up one of our other units. So we received our animal transport box for our ACO unit. So we're hoping to get that in this week or at the latest beginning of next week so that Animal Control Officer Key will be up and running in her own unit by then. We also have our 3 Chevrolets that are in, and they're scheduled for upfit in May. So it's going to be a nice boost to our fleet, and then we'll have several vehicles to get rid of. I also accepted a grant. It's called Peregrine. It's an information sharing system. Essentially, we'll be on a network with New Mexico State Police, Albuquerque Police Department, Las Cruces, and several other agencies throughout the state, where we'll be in an information sharing network where we can not only search our own database for simple word searches, but their databases as well. So it's going to really be a boost to our investigations division as far as information sharing and being able to track down persons of interest and research cases. It's an amazing project. The state got a grant for it. It's a very expensive program, but we're getting it for free, so I jumped on that as quick as I could. Moving on, I've completed the Lexipol policy manual. I got that done at the end of last week. That was a tedious process. It consists of 147 individual policies and 10 chapters. It's about 600 pages long. That's the first step in our accreditation process. The Lexipol team is working to match all the accreditation standards to each one of the policies. That'll take a few more months. But while that's happening, we're going to continue to work on our compliance with each one of those policies, and showing that compliance, that's the biggest step in the accreditation process and the most time-consuming. So we're going to start that process now, and I believe we're still on track to hit the December 2025 deadline to apply for our accreditation. So I'm still on track and still hoping to get that done by next annual year so that we can get that break on our taxes or our insurance by then. So in the first quarter, some of our reports, it's been an extremely busy first quarter for us at the Sheriff's Department. So from January 1st to current, we've handled 1,270 calls for service. We've made 1,069 traffic stops. We have made 94 arrests, 20 DWI arrests, and issued, bear with me, 248 citations. In conjunction with that, Investigations has completed 23 search warrants, 16 arrest warrants, worked 5 internet crimes against children cases, one of which was turned over to state police because the suspect is in another county, and then assisted TRC Police Department with an internet crimes against children case they recently had. On top of that, Animal Control has successfully trapped 17 dogs in the Array area, and is still working setting traps to remove the rest of those problem animals, but there's a bunch of them, so it's going to be an ongoing process. I don't have all of our other stats. It was a little bit fast trying to put them together, but for the first quarter, it gives you an idea of how busy we've been. The other thing is, yesterday we received a call of a possible rabid dog in the Las Palomas area. The owner took the animal to the vet. It's being sent off for testing. I did contact Game and Fish, and they did confirm that they've had at least 2 bobcats and 2 gray fox in the recent months that tested positive for rabies in Sierra County. So we're not sure if we're going to have an outbreak or not, but we're urging all of our residents to make sure their domestic animals are all vaccinated and to be vigilant for any wild game animals that appear aggressive or not acting right, and to notify ourselves or Game and Fish right away if they encounter them. And with that, I'll stand for any questions.
Any comments, questions?
Thank you so much.
Just to
I've been busy.
comment, Mr. Chair. I'm really appreciative of the Sheriff's Office moving toward accreditation. That's, that's a 5% break in the annual fees that we pay for our insurance, and that's just outstanding. Thank you, Sheriff, for pursuing that.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Thank you.
So we'll go to Patrick next.
Good morning, Clerk Whitehead, Commissioners, Mr. Paxton, Mr. Day, Mr. Hopkins, and Manager Vaughn. Employee evaluations have been conducted for half of the officers at the detention. We have filled another position, so if I'm not mistaken, all we need to fill is one more to be at capacity. Safety gear has been ordered. We've ordered stab-proof vests that are being made right now for all staff. Puncture-resistant gloves for pat-downs or property searches. That'll protect them from syringes, any sharp objects, glass, blades. We've ordered 3 trauma kits for the vans or for any transport vehicle that will be going out on transport or dropping off at any rehab, just in case there's any emergency or accidents. We also have ordered new radios for the detention center, and as of right now, we're still working on policies to get them up to date. It's a long, tedious process, and for that, I stand for any questions.
Any comments, questions?
Thank you. Thank you, Pat.
None, thank you.
All right.
So we'll go to Keith next.
Morning, Chairman, Commissioners, Manager Vaughn. It's pretty much business as usual as far as addressing. We received a few more applications, working through a list I got from the City of Elephant Butte to add a few dozen addresses from the last few months out there. And then we've also, as part of our ordinance for the county, we do require addressing on all properties in the county. We now have ordered and received blanks that we can use for, or to offer to the residents. There will be a small fee involved to cover the cost of us ordering, but we do have a 12-inch and an 18-inch. They are reflective. They do come with 4-inch reflective white lettering. So if anyone is in need of an address and they would prefer to come and get it from us, we do have them available at a small fee. We're going to be looking into setting that fee internally and once we've calculated the cost and everything, so. And with that, I stand for any questions.
Commissioners, any comments, questions?
Thank you, Keith.
All right, thank you.
Ryan?
Morning, Chairman, Commissioners, Manager Vaughn. We just concluded our annual compliance testing for all the county fire departments, which is hose, ladder, and pumps. It's probably a long process there, but we have to have that done every year to be eligible for the grants that come our way. Poverty Creek Volunteer Fire Department, today we have the pre-bid site walkthrough. Thanks for all the work for our Chief Procurement Officer, Isaac Rivers. We'll be headed out there today around 12:30 to meet with potential contractors. That will be the station expansion of 3 additional bays, currently what they have now. The funding was awarded through the State Fire Marshal's Office Fire Protection Grant of FY25. So getting the ball rolling there, and hopefully we'll get that constructed and sealed in before next winter, which I think we will. Let's see, the Kingston Fuels Reduction Project letters have been sent out. We received about 5 of them back along with the treatment plan. Contractor's ready to rock and roll, so I think once we get 5, 6, completed treatment plans, then we'll send the contractor out. We'll have enough funds to treat 20 of the homes for defensible space, and then we'll decide, we get some more funding, Title III funding in June, late June, and we'll decide if we want to carry on the project there. We're trying to split that up between our 2 communities of Poverty and Kingston, just because the funding only allows to treat structures, private property within or adjacent to the national forest. Let's see, later on we'll have the ordinance for open controlled burns, but I'll go ahead and discuss just now the wildland fire potential outlook, just because we recently, Sierra County has gone into a severe drought status. We all know it's dry out there. It's been an unusually dry winter. But we also have for May and June, our fire weather potential outlook is we're in the red. it's dry. You know, I've been doing a lot of no-burn days, just because the relative humidity is pretty low. A lot of folks say, oh, it's nice weather, it's not breezy, but that relative humidity really makes the fire behavior intense. We've had numerous fires, some small, some structure fires, and it's all been human-caused due to negligence, and relative humidity has a major impact in those, situations. So just trying to get out some more public outreach and education and letting folks know that, it's not just the wind, and it's definitely relative humidity. It plays a major role in that. So, and it's a shame to see people lose their assets and their properties, but public education and outreach is the strongest form that we can get out to them. If we want to discuss anything further about the drought monitor or anything, we can do it at the proposal of the ordinance later in the meeting, or if you have any other questions, I can answer them now.
Questions?
And is my report.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ryan. Let's see, Candy, anything to report this month?
Taxes.
Good morning, everybody. Hope you're all having a great day so far. We are at 76% collection. Taxes are due by the 10th of May, and people are coming in slowly but surely. No kidding. Second half taxes, just come in and see us if you haven't yet. Delinquent notices start tomorrow in the paper and will continue for 3 weeks. Just approved that yesterday, and I guess that's it for right this second. Do y'all have any questions?
Questions? Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
So we go to Mike with the Facilities Department.
Oh, you got used.
I can go and give my annual now, right?
I was going to finish department reports and then go to you next.
Oh, okay, department reports. The veterans are coming out with their new partial percentage of thing. One county already got them yesterday, and just need to get it out there that people need to apply, because nobody has put out how they're going to issue them or how they're going to get them. So we're waiting for that, so. Yeah, should I go to my annual?
Just go ahead, yeah. Just go and do your annual report, and we'll finish the rest of the department reports after.
Okay, I'm just going to read the annual report. It is in accordance with Section 736-16E of the Property Tax Code. The county assessor is mandated to present an annual report during the budget request to aid in the county's budget planning. This report provides a comparative analysis of taxable valuation for 24 and 25 tax years. The summary of valuation changes. Net new taxable value added. The total taxable value added to the 2025 tax roll is $7,576,626, reflecting a 17.49% increase from 2024 value of $6,449,010. This increase includes new construction, partially completed construction, accessory buildings, and business personal property renditions. Valuation maintenance program, the total taxable value added through valuation maintenance program is $9,309,270. The total estimated taxable value for the county for 2025 is $407,880,558, representing a 4.32% increase over the 24 total of $390,965,343. This increase in the veterans exemptions from $4,000 to $10,000 resulted in a $3,086,191 reduction in taxable value for 2025. We are seeing a number of new applicants as well. The reappraisal cycle, we are on a one-year reappraisal cycle that is mandated by Regulation 3.6.423 of New Mexico Statute 73616. This cycle ensures that all properties undergo annual valuation updates encompassing both newly added properties and reappraisals. Additional work performed this year. Property transfers, we had 1,019 of all types. Building permits, 222. Rechecks, 200. Reevaluation Phase 3, approximately 3,052 accounts reviewed through pictometry and physical inspections. Tax releases for mobile homes this year were 54. 6 in-area adjustments. Due to increased sales and employee outages for 2024, we were able to add an additional employee to the appraisal staff and resources reallocated for 2025 to focus on the revaluation of non-residential properties while maintaining standard updates. The 2024 sales ratio study attached reports a median assessment level of 95%, ensuring a consistent relationship between property values and sales prices. Under staffing and technology, we added new member Alexandra Montoya to the team in April of '24. She is utilizing pictometry and for valuation updates in the 6N area, conducting rechecks for physical reviews, updating appraisals, maintaining property record cards. Alexandra is scheduled to attend IAAO training in 2025 to further her professional development towards appraiser certification. Okay, Catalyst migration. We're still working on the migration to Catalyst. It's been a real challenge getting all the data and everything to be able to move over. The Apex drawings, the pictures and everything else, we still have 88,000 of them that we are working on downloading to move over. So we're still in progress. And that's it. Is there any questions?
No, thank you.
None? Thank you. Okay. Go to the other mic now, in the back.
Good morning, Chairman, Commissioners, Manager Vaughn. Well, lately, we've been doing routine maintenance on the HVAC units above, changing out the filters and adjusting the belts. We're in the process of restriping all the parking lots now. And we've been maintaining the ball field and array, and that grass is like really green now. And I think that's it.
Thank you. Comments, questions?
Good job down there at Array. Boy, those people are so happy. We went to great-granddaughter's little T-ball game, and it's just, everybody's just in a good mood. It's a great thing. So appreciate y'all's work.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. We'll finish up with Billy.
Good morning, Commissioners, Manager Vaughn. We've been keeping some pretty regular blading in all of our districts. Those blade guys have been peeling off and coming and helping our road crew get stuff ready for our LGRF projects. We're going to be chip sealing the week of the 12th of May in Monticello. So that should take us about 3 days, and we should be done with that. Also in Monticello, we've installed a few culverts around the Bridge of Grace and fixed a pretty bad hole there that was kind of overlooked by the engineers. But I think we got it pretty well fixed now. So we've also been fixing a lot of the potholes just with hot mix. It's really worked out pretty good and put quite a bit on the ground there in Monticello and Animas both. We're also going to be chip sealing in Animas the first week of June. And that should be about it, and I'll stand for any questions.
Comments, questions?
Good job, man.
Thank you, Billy. Thanks, Billy. Go to Manager Vaughn, if there's anything to report.
Hi. Thank you, Chair. I have a couple items. One, I wanted to give an update on the Fairgrounds project. It is underway. They are finishing up the plumbing, and Ernie isn't here because he's attending the meeting for me this morning. So that's underway. We did get an additional $100,000 from legislative appropriation. I will be bringing back the master plan and the projects on that so we can look at those and determine what our next priority is. We also got some money for the Hillsborough Community Center, which will be used to help remodel the kitchen. It was $175,000. And the other one was we did get $500,000 for the Emergency Operations Center. That does leave us about $2.1 million short for the construction. We have a meeting with an architect to decide if we can phase the building it off. We can do site prep and then see if we can get additional funding. I also have a meeting with DFA to go over some funding opportunities. So more information to come on that. And that is all I have.
Any questions, Commissioners? Thank you. Commissioners, anything to report this month? Yes, sir. Go ahead.
I attended the semi-annual Mexican Wolf Executive Team meeting in Albuquerque Thursday. There's a lot of things going on. There's a minimum of 286 wolves. We get 320 for 4 years. They would look at downlisting from endangered to threatened. That's probably there now because it was a very dry winter. They use snow and they do helicopter grids to count wolves other than the collars. Only 37% of the wolves are collared, so we think there's more wolves out there than they counted, and they agree. There's really been a spike in depredations in Catron County. One rancher has lost 7 cows or calves in one pasture. The Fish and Wildlife Service is very hesitant to issue wolf removal orders. They get such an extreme negative reaction from the environmental groups and the wolf advocates that it's been 2 years and 3 months since they removed a wolf. And that was that old wolf on Mangus Mountain. This wolf is the alpha male in the Hill Canyon Pack, which is north of Luna. And they have determined that he is responsible for at least 7 depredations. So it's a pretty intense discussion when you get to removing a wolf for cause, and the ranchers suffer in the meantime. So it was a long meeting and a lot of discussion about where they're going to go and how they're going to downlist once they reach 320 for 4 years. So more to come.
Thank you, Master Paxton. There's nothing additional. We will move on to the Board of Finance, the March reconciliation. Is there a motion?
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the March reconciliation.
Second?
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. We have no old business on the agenda, so we'll move on to new business. Item A is petition for road vacation, VR 25001, to appoint the freeholders, and we'll go to Keith.
Okay, so we received another road vacation request. It's a portion of 6th Street in Chloride. As it's platted years ago, that's the name of the road. It was never built. It falls between Wall Street and Water Street. The south end of this portion of the road it runs up against the bank of the creek that runs there. The owner that has requested it owns both sides of the road, and so we're requesting for approval of the freeholders, and we're looking to appoint John Diamond, Ronnie Chavis, and Bo Marshall, and then having Bruce Swingle as an alternate.
Commissioners, any questions?
Just one, Keith. Have you confirmed through plats and research that the road was not built?
We have seen no signs of it ever being built.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
If there's nothing additional, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve the petition for the road vacation VR 25-001, the appointment of John Diamond, Ronnie Chavez, and Bo Marshall as freeholders.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Motion passes. Item B is solicitation of letters for the non-governmental organization and livestock representative appointment to the County Livestock Loss Authority. We'll go to Manager Vaughn.
Thank you, Chair. So currently, the CLLA Board has two members whose Their appointment terms have expired, and this is the solicitation to see if we can get additional folks who would like to serve on that board. And I will hand it over to Mr. Paxton or Attorney Pato.
Mr. Chairman, Ms. Vaughn, I don't have anything to add to that.
Commissioners, comments, questions?
Socorro has done kind of the same process. The bylaws of the CLLA dictate that those two appointed individuals are through confirmation by each county. So once we get letters of interest, we can reconcile names and see where the CLLA wants to go, and then this commission will have to approve those names. It's important that we keep people there, and I think the two individuals that have terms that have expired have served well, but it may be time to look at some other individuals. I would request that if we approve this, we send a letter to Socorro County and to the CLLA and the chair.
One question, and maybe this is for Attorney Pato or whoever wants to take it. When those two names, say Sierra County gets both names, do those names have to be approved by Socorro and Catron, or is it just the majority of the three counties?
You know, Mr. Chairman, the bylaws aren't clear about whether or not it requires unanimous approval, but so most things require approval by majority. So yes, that I would expect that if both Sierra and Socorro approve a set of names that's not approved by Catron, that it would be the majority of those voting in favor of those names that would seat those individuals.
Okay, perfect, thank you.
Sure.
That's the only question I have. I will entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the solicitation of letters of interest for the NGO and livestock representative to the CLLA.
A second?
I have a motion and a second to approve the solicitation of letters of interest. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Just a comment, I'm not sure how we disseminate that letter to get the widest search for candidates. Do you have thoughts, Manager Vaughn?
I can come up with some thoughts. Probably newspaper, Facebook. We can also, I have some contacts that we used in the beginning when the CLLA was started. We can send out the letter to all of them to see if they have anybody who's interested. That's, I think, our best bet is to go that direction. And also probably advertise it in multiple places, not just Sierra County, probably
That's good, I think it's worthy.
throughout New Mexico, yes.
What kind of timeline would we do, 30 days or?
Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Paxton, I would think less than 30 days, so that way this board can make an appointment at its next meeting.
Whatever you think is appropriate, but yeah, I would like us to be able to consider an appointment next meeting.
We'll get, Fadman can get working on that, and we'll see if we can get some names. Next up, we'll go to contracts, agreements, and procurement. Item A is the lease agreement between the County of Sierra and Southwest Office Solutions, and Isaac's already at the podium, so I'll hand it over to you.
Good morning, everybody. First on the list for the Southwest Office Solutions lease agreement, these are Xerox machines. We have a 4-year contract with them that had expired, or is about to expire, that the Xerox machines in each of the offices, we had done a reassessment and done some right sizing. We had found that we had been overspending on our Xerox machines and didn't need all of the features that we had been purchasing. Ended up coming out to about a 10% discount from the last lease agreement that we had. So this comes out to be about $72,000 for all 4 years, but still a discount.
Commissioners, any comments, questions?
Just one. Are these the Xeroxes in all of the elected and admin offices here in?
In this building, in each of the offices, correct?
Yeah. So that would include clerk, assessor,
Correct.
treasurer, and us.
Yes.
That's fine. That's good. Thank you.
There's nothing additional. I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve the lease agreement between the County of Sierra and the Southwest Office Solutions.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the lease agreement. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Going on to item B is the agreement between the County of Sierra and vetted security solutions. Isaac.
All right, this one is a little bit more complicated just because of procurement side. It looks a little bit different. Again, I feel like I say that every month, but this had already been approved. This is the license plate reader and trailer for it that are split into separate purchases within the vendor, but that is only to avoid a pre-purchase requirement over a certain threshold with the vendor itself. But these had already been gone through the Department of Homeland Security Emergency Management. They have received approval from whoever they needed approval from, and I cannot remember the name of them right now. The New Mexico State DFA, that was who it was. They had already received approval from that. This is being paid through the Operation Stone Garden grant. So I think that is everything I have for this, and then also Sheriff Baker should be able to answer any other questions about the actual items.
Commissioners, what this is to the Operation Stone Garden grant. The monies are coming from that, so it's not county funds. They've already been approved by the FEMA as well as the State Homeland Security Department. We're just need your approval so that we can follow through with procurement. And what this one in particular is for a license plate reader that'll go up on the interstate that will enable us and partner with our federal partners on that. So that's what it's for, and I'll answer any questions if there are any.
Comments, questions? Nope. None? I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the agreement between the County of Sierra and Vetted Security Solutions.
I second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the agreement. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Isaac. Moving on to resolutions, ordinances, and proclamations. Item A is Resolution 2025-32, recognizing Sierra County Road A013 as a public prescription easement. We'll go to Attorney Pato.
Mr. Chairman, thank you, members of the board. This resolution is in support of our transfer of A13 to the DOT. The DOT requests evidence that A13 is a county road because many of our roads are prescriptive easements. This resolution articulates how this became a county road, that it's been listed on our road maintenance log since 1954 for over 7 decades, that we've expended public resources for the maintenance of it. And so this resolution recognizes A13 as a county prescriptive easement and a county road. Nice time for any questions.
None? I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve resolution number 2025-32, recognizing Sierra County Road A013 as a public easement.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the resolution. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion passes. Item B is Resolution 2025-33, approving participation in the program of the South Central Council of Governments. Manager Vaughn.
Thank you, Chair and Commissioners. This item is an annual item we approve. The COG got us the letter a little bit late. Usually it's approved earlier in the year, but this is just this fiscal year's participation in the COG.
Commissioners, any comments, questions? I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve Resolution 2025-33 for participation in the COG.
I second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the resolution. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Next up is Resolution 2025-34 in support of Catron County's disaster declaration. We'll go to Attorney Pato.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, as Commissioner Paxton noted earlier, depredations have been excessive out in Catron County this year. There have been over 50, with 7 by one private property owner. This resolution is in support of Catron County's resolution that they adopted back on April 8th, and it calls on the State Department of Emergency Management, Department of Game and Fish, Department of Finance Administration, to take immediate steps to mitigate future harm and to restore the balance to the impacted areas. I stand for any questions to the board.
Commissioners, comments, questions?
It's great to support them. There have been 3 depredations in Sierra County, 2 of them by wolves that are collared and known to be in the area up close to the Continental Divide. One of the things that they brought up at the wolf meeting is that the wolf who went to the Valles Calderas, the female, and was brought back, They call her female 2754. She did breed with a wolf in Sevilleta. They bonded. They'll whelp in May. Their plans are to go back to the Ladder Ranch and go to that Saco release site and release the wolves there. At 6 weeks, they'll open the pens. The last time that we had wolves there was when they put 1693 in a female. I don't remember her number. Those pups were a month old, and they went to Wall Lake over the top of the Continental Divide in one day, and there was a spate of depredations that were attributed to that pack. I think the same kind of thing will probably happen. I think that we need to just advise our livestock producers west of I-25 that we're going to have wolves that will be placed on the Ladder Ranch and then released sometime about 1st of July. So I think it's prudent that we do that. So this state of emergency is not confined to Catron County. Apache County also declared, Apache, Arizona County also declared a disaster and a state of emergency that went to their governor over in Arizona. The wolves continue to be a problem and a threat to the security and economic livelihood for our ranchers, and Sierra County is included.
Now, these pups that will be released, that were released, that made their trip, were they collared, or?
No, only the male and female were collared. They don't collar pups because they grow and constricts their neck. You know, they try to trap them when they're a year old, when they do the winter counts, and they did collar 7 wolves in their winter count. So they dart them from a helicopter and then give them a vet examination, and so there were 7 young wolves that were collared during December, January, and February.
Thank you. Anything additional, Commissioners? None? I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve resolution number 2025-34 in support of Catron County's disaster declaration.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the resolution. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Item D is Resolution 2025-35, authorizing the county manager to pursue designation of a segment of County Road A05 as a part of the Rio Grande Trail and Turtleback Trails Network. Manager Vaughn.
Thank you, Chair and Commissioners. So as was spoken in public comment, this is to designate a portion of A05, which I believe is Turtleback Road, as part, for the designation for the trail. This does not change the use of the road. It doesn't change anything. This allows me to fill out the application and submit some information so that this road can be designated and can appear on the Trails Network map.
Commissioners, comments, questions, concerns? I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve Resolution 2025-35, authorizing the county manager to pursue designation of a segment of County Road A05 as part of the Rio Grande Trail.
A second?
I have a motion and a second to approve the resolution. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Motion passes. Moving on to ordinance 2025-003, proclamation restricting open and controlled burns in the unincorporated areas of Sierra County. We'll go to Ryan Williams.
Good morning again. With the assistance of Attorney Pato, we revised the ordinance for open and controlled burns in the unincorporated areas of Sierra County. Just to help out, on our end, a lot of the agricultural folks thought that they were exempt, and it turned into, kind of calling dispatch saying, hey, we're exempt, we don't have to do this. But what happens is my main concern is the safety and well-being of assets and human lives. And folks that kind of think they're exempt, they go about their business, and then what they do is they ended up taking out some critical infrastructure, say power poles and all that, and then they get some pretty hefty fines from those carriers. But Attorney Pato and I helped out with that. There's really no exemption on it. We have to make sure that we're following certain guidelines, especially the verbiage in the ordinance is like the cropland is irrigated. Burning is done with adequate planning, and that would be with consultation with myself. And we have adequate personnel to control that burn. If it's going on, it's just not one man out there, with a fusee or a drip torch or a lighter. because we know that with our current conditions, the relative humidity gets things kind of moving pretty fast out there in our ag lands. And it's secure and being controlled at the end of daily operation. We just want to make sure that if they're doing it, they're notifying dispatch, and they're following suit with our residents too on just small residential properties. So I appreciate all your help with that, Attorney Pato. And then the hours, at last commission meeting, I talked about the administrative load that it is on me. Well, the hours we had on last year's, or the year before's ordinance was to call me and to get a permit between the hours of 5 a.m. and 10. And let me tell you, I get bogged down at 5 a.m. because these agricultural producers want a permit right there, like even if it's for the next day. So we just did it from 8 to 10, and that can be the day prior. But we'll just monitor conditions daily on it. But this also helps tee up our fireworks ordinance. We don't know. We're expected some monsoonal precipitation. We hope, fingers crossed. As I told Commissioner Hopkins, I'm not going to stand up here and preach the weather because a lot of times it's inaccurate. But if we do get some monsoonal, moisture, then that'll help out our July 4th conditions for aerial ignition devices and fireworks. But we have to have that 30 days prior to July. So it would be our May meeting that we need to get that established if we were to restrict any aerial ignition devices. But this will help us out. I think it's good too. We'll publicly, put this out there with the help of the Sentinel and the newspaper and the radio and Facebook and a lot of social media, and also distribute to the fire chiefs so they can push it out to their residents. But we just want to make sure that everyone's on board with it. And I think public education and outreach so folks can get their burning in during the January, February months is better because we know the conditions are more favorable. But a lot of people say, oh, it's nice outside, it's warming up, it's time to burn. Well, it's not favorable at that time to be burning. Like I said earlier, we've had everything has been man-made, human-caused fires, with the exception of one in the Gila National Forest near Emery Pass, which was a lightning strike. Fortunately, our constituents with the Forest Service ordered pretty heavy on that one, which is nice. They didn't do a managed burn. They ordered a Type 1 helicopter, which cost a lot, did 3 drops on it and knocked it out really fast, which is good. I like to see that because we can't afford to have large incidents anywhere in our national forest lands. But as you can see at the handout that I produced you, we are in severe drought and, to extreme drought, and especially in portions of our western part of the county. And our wildland fire potential outlook for May and June is not good. We're in the red. We're way above normal. July's, hopefully, if we get monsoonal, but if not, we'll be in the red there too. So just want to keep folks safe, protect our property and our national and state forest lands. So any questions?
Questions?
Just a comment, Mr. Chair. Ryan, I just read where the chief of the Forest Service has returned to the 10 a.m. policy of 1939, that all fires, the goal is to put them out by 10 a.m. the next day. He has said there will be no managed wildfires to decrease fuels this year. I think that's a major recognition of some mismanagement by the Forest Service in the past and a move towards the future. There's still an opportunity for managed fires, but it needs to be planned out and not done after the ignition starts. So that's just a recognition of the dire situation that we're in. So I'm glad to see this restriction, and also think it's very appropriate that we use all avenues of getting public service announcements to people. Might take a year or two to convince our neighbors that have agricultural fields that they need to do things a little differently. So appreciate your work.
Yep, and it's, a lot of the counties are following suit. And just so everyone knows on the record, the municipality of Elephant Butte and TRC will implement their own ordinances. Elephant Butte's going to be doing it on their next meeting. TRC will probably do it in May, June, I think. But we're all trying to be on the same page, right? Because incidents wouldn't form just in the county, it would happen in the municipality too. And we see it from past fires where someone says, oh, I burnt some weeds and I live here on, a street here in town, and then 2 days later their house burns down because embers fester in between sighting. They sit there and wait for the appropriate conditions, get a little puff of air, and then there goes the home. So we're not doing it because we don't want people to burn. We just want people to be smart about it and be cautious and protect homes and properties, because once it's lost, it's lost, so.
It's gone.
I appreciate y'all's support.
And one thing I do want to add, I know we talked about the ag burning, but it also calls out campfires as well. And so just for the community to know that as well, you still need a permit to even have a campfire. Is that, I mean, am I reading that correct?
Correct. Yep, you're correct. And then there was some kind of leeway on it for cooking and ceremonial fires. But if you have any open flames, right, any open flames are cause for any ignition on anything, where it be grass. You know, I know folks still use burn barrels, but they say, oh, it's good, it's dead, it's out, right? 2 days later, we just had a house fire in Lake Valley. 2 days later, a spark jumps due to the relative low humidity. We lose a residence. Everything's out. You know, in Forest Service, Gila National Forest implemented their stage 1 fire restrictions last month. That's pretty big. I mean, that's quick, saying no open flames anywhere in the Gila National Forest. And that's hard because the hunters, right? We're going hunting.
A lot of
We
turkey.
need to cook, we need to stay warm. It's been cold nights, but it's one spark causes a giant disaster. And we saw that in 2022 where we lost over 1 million acres, you know, between here and Santa Fe and even more. I mean, so I'm happy that the Forest Service is going to say we're going full suppression by 10 a.m. the next morning, because we've learned managed fires only destroy all of our resources. So that's good. I think if we're all collaborating together, then we'll see some improvement here in the future.
And I think just for the public, I mean, looking at section 7, the penalties, possible misdemeanor, $300 fine, and up to 90 days in jail. I think that could easily be avoided with just some communication with our emergency service. You know, I mean, I really do think that's what we're asking for in this ordinance, just work with Ryan and our staff to get a permit if conditions allow for a permit to be authorized.
Correct. And education is key on it, right? Why do I do it? And my main thing I tell people a lot of times, like, I don't know how deep your pockets are. I don't know your financial status, but if that fire jumps to the neighbors and it wipes out his or her property and their assets, homes, or whatever, you're 100% liable to pay for that. Repeat offenders? Yes. Thankful. One of the deputies this morning, we've had a repeat offender down south in the county, repeat offender for burning, was issued a citation this morning. So I appreciate it, Sheriff, for your deputies doing that, because if they know they're just going to get their wrist slapped and a warning, then they'll just keep doing it. But, you know, when you hit a pocketbook, that gets people's attention, so I appreciate it.
Mr. Chairman, if I might, just a couple of things. Number one, I wanted to make clear this ordinance, because it's an emergency ordinance, it takes effect immediately upon adoption. Number two, I'd like to, if you would, open it up to the public to make sure the public doesn't have any comments they'd like to make on the draft ordinance, and I stand for any questions the board might have.
So if I want to hear you right, go ahead, and if there's any comments, now would be the time. Mike Houston, anything?
And Mr. Chairman, I think it's really important, as Ryan said, that this be disseminated widely and broadly, so I'd ask that we provide a copy of this to the newspapers, also post on our website, and share with our partners at the federal government.
Perfect. And I think we typically do that. Do we not, Ryan? Okay.
Yeah, we just need more avenues to push it through, and I think our fire chiefs will help out with that, because they're the advocates in the communities. But just, you know, knowing that's going to be on the website, we'll have it right there as a block. We're going to update that once this is approved, and that way it's kind of when they get on the website. But there's a lot of, you know, our elderly community and seniors, they're not on Facebook. They listen to the radio. You know, we have to make sure that we're hitting the appropriate demographic with our media sources. So we'll keep exploring those avenues.
Thank you. If there's no other comments, questions, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve ordinance number 2025-003 and the proclamation restricting open and controlled burns in the unincorporated areas of Sierra County.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Since it's an ordinance, we'll go ahead and do a roll call vote. Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Day?
Yes.
Commissioner Paxton?
Yes.
Commissioner Hopkins?
Yes.
Motion passes. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you. Next up, we have executive session. Is there a motion?
Mr. Chair, I move that we go into executive session following section 10 through 15, E through H, pending and threatened litigation.
A second?
I have a motion and a second to go into executive session. Could we please have a roll call?
Commissioner Day?
Yes.
Commissioner Paxton?
Yes.
Commissioner Hopkins?
Yes.
We're in executive session. We'll now come out of executive session. Is there a motion?
Mr. Chair, I move that we come out of executive session. The items listed were the only thing discussed. There was no direction to staff from our executive session.
A second?
I have a motion and a second. Could we please have a roll call?
Commissioner Day?
Yes.
Commissioner Paxson?
Yes.
Commissioner Hopkins?
Yes.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. We have no action out of executive session. Our next regular scheduled meeting will be May 20th here in the Commission Chambers. If anyone is interested to come in person, we do have our budget meeting at 1:30 this afternoon. So with that, is there a motion to adjourn?
Mr. Chair, I move to adjourn.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. We're adjourned.